restarted race after the red flag. And once again, we are underway, and once again, it's a solid start for Vorapong Malawan. Although Deki Tiamo once again has made a decent fist of things. Indeed, it's Deki who is dragging Watcherin along with him. And into this first corner, Vorapong finds himself down in P3, and Watcherin, who had a disappointing race number 1, is then forced wide and drops down to P2 as they go down the hill. But it's not all Vorapong Malawan for a change.
No, I think that was Deki pushing himself through to P1. Yep, indeed it was. Vorapong will be perfectly content in P3. He'll be saving himself a little bit. He is sore, as we said, from that Friday crash.
Behind them, Agung Septian from Indonesia, and Jagan Kumar is being dragged in as well. Jagan, who's very much in the veteran stages, but has been riding TVS for a long time.
But good to have his experience in this class.
Can just confirm that all riders involved in the earlier incidents, that's Natapon, Varis, Harith Farhan and Deepak Ravi Kumar, there were 2 separate incidents, all are medically okay.
Unfortunately, they're not back out on track because some of those guys, particularly Varis, was brought the race to life very much yesterday. But let's look and see what Watcherin can do now, the number 14 machine there, because he is a fast rider. The Thai, we've seen him in the Asia Talent Cup, so he knows his way around Sepang. Vorapong certainly knows his way around.
Vorapong in P3. I'm interested to see if Jagan Kumar is able to improve on his performance yesterday. A P9 for Jagan Kumar yesterday, behind KY Ahmad. We've already lost Deepak Ravi Kumar. So of the triumvirate of Indian racers, one is out. It's been a dreadful weekend for Deepak. But let's see if KY Ahmad and Jagan Kumar can just restore a little bit of Indian pride in this TVS one make.
Yeah, with Vorapong in the pack there, it's difficult to know whether this is stage managed at all, but I would think that it's good to give these riders a taste of being at the front and being chased rather than chasing. Chasing is fun and it's relatively easy in a race, but leading is a different thing altogether. So I'm glad to see Deki having his time at the front here.
Dekitiano Aldi leads after 1 lap, and Watcherin in P2 comes through to take P1. So bike 14 and bike 16 side by side alongside each other as they come into turn number 1, and under the watchful gaze of Vorapong Malawan, Agung Septian and Jagan Kumar also there. Mohammed Fitri Ashraf, who's just posted the fastest lap time, 2:32.2. So they're just a little bit off qualification pace.
Yeah, that was nicely.
Again, are you?
Yeah, no jokes about Australians and barbecues as we look at Vorapong. Sorry, that's his nickname. Vorapong Malawan take the front.
Vorapong Malawan leads the way. He was fastest in qualification. He won yesterday's first race. He is the main man, the boss. And leading the way once again. Behind them, Jagan Kumar. Keep an eye on that green and red helmet, as we do. Is a little wobble there for Jagan. Just a little bit of powers. I was here. I've not had a chance to be on the bike, but I'm hearing they're very light, and you make one mistake and you can lose the front end very easily.
Yeah, possibly. We've seen evidence of that already, and even Vorapong has had a crash this weekend. And Deki having another. This is the races are progressing. It's good to see the progress over the course of a weekend, both in lap times and in confidence on the racetrack.
That was a better time, a 2:28.7, a 2:28.5 from Vorapong.
Yeah.
The differential between P1 and P7,
yeah,
less than 1.8 seconds.
And that's Fitri that joined the front group there. He did a straight set of fastest sectors on that last lap, and his best lap time is disappeared for the time being. 2:27.
27.4, yeah.
Yeah, so we saw, I think, 2 riders in warm-up do 2:27s. That's a very decent time. Take as your benchmark the AP 250 class, where a good lap time is around 2:26. And I know that the wily Vorapong Malawan has got his eyes on the 250 lap times.
Agung Septian is leading the second group from P5, in which Jagan Kumar is the back of that group of three. Two very distinct camps emerging. Vorapong leads from Deki Tiano. These two have been the outstanding riders all weekend, and coming through, Fitri Ashraf has made a move there. A slight mistake from Vorapong going up the hill. It's easily done. Indeed, it's Watcherin who came through into P2, and Fitri Ashraf going past Vorapong. Unusual to see Vorapong make a mistake like that.
Yeah, it is. As you're saying, these bikes are really light, so, and they've got a lot of torque. Just going wide as we did in yesterday's race, and that's Deki Tiano looking pretty much in control at the front.
Fitri Ashraf takes the nice narrow angle Watcherin. He does go wide and will lose a place to Vorapong. We're coming into the final lap of this shortened restarted race, where we've got one lap to go, and it is a lead for Deki Tiano ahead of Fitri and Watcherin. Vorapong, KY Ahmed, Agung Septian and Jagan Kumar in the second group, completing the top 7. But this is interesting. Vorapong Malwan is not having everything his own way in this restarted race.
Certainly not. So let's see what he does. We are suddenly, because it's only a 4-lap race, on the last lap, and Deki looks
bit of distance there,
front.
isn't there? There's a bit of distance. The difference was just 0.3 of a second as he went over the start-finish line, but he looks like he's extended that quite considerably.
Yeah, and Fitri looking good in second. See what Vorapong's got up his sleeve. There will be something, you can be sure of that.
Still though, Deki Tiano Aldi, P2 in qualification, P2 yesterday in race number 1, now leading as we approach the midpoint of this final lap.
And you can see that sector time very fast through the first sector to give himself a little bit of fresh air between him and Fitri and Vorapong.
Vorapong though has just posted the second, the fastest second sector time. He's back into it. Look over the shoulder there. Coming in from Deki Tiano. Sometimes I feel you need to be aware of what's going on behind you, but focus on your own race. Goes up the top of the hill, nearly loses the back end, loses a bit of time there, does Deki.
So that advantage is gone now. That's all it takes.
Fitri Ashraf is there, but Vorapong once again going up the hill has lost a place. Vorapong Malwan is struggling. Fitri Ashraf is looking to make a move. He is right on the tail of Deki Tiano. Malaysia versus Indonesia. Watcherin the tie, and Vorapong the second tie in 3 and 4 respectively.
So now my recommendation is to watch Vorapong, because he will not have had in his plan to be 4th as they go into the final stages of this lap.
Penultimate straight here. They're keeping close to the grandstand as much as they can. It's Deki Tiano Aldi who has the lead. Fitri Ashraf might just be able to take the inside line. Fitri is the new race leader.
And look at Watcherin just blocked Vorapong on the entrance to that. Vorapong switched though.
Fitri Ashraf will come through, and Fitri, if he can hold on, will take the victory. Mohammed Fitri Ashraf just by a bike length ahead of Deki Tiano. Vorapong 3, Watcherin coming in 4. Agung, KY Ahmed and Jagan Kumar complete the top 5. Fitri Ashraf is thrilled to bits with that result.
So he should be. That was terrific. We didn't expect anybody other than Vorapong to win that, but he finds himself having to really fight for that last place on the podium, because Watcherin really pushed him wide on under braking for turn 15.
So a local winner takes the victory in the restarted TBS. Mohammed Fitri Ashraf, fastest lap of 2:27.433. The difference, it was 0.04 of a second between him and Deki Tiano. So a good weekend for Deki Tiano, but 2 P2s can be mighty frustrating.
Yeah, they can, but that will put him in the championship lead. It's going to be close.
Confirmation of the result. P1 for Fitri Ashraf from Malaysia, ahead of Deki Tiano Aldi of Indonesia. Vorapong ahead of Watcherin in P3. Agung Septian for Indonesia, ahead of the 2 Indian racers, KY Ahmed in P6 and Jagan Kumar in 7. They were 4.5 seconds adrift. James Jacobs, the first of the only Australian to finish, 8 seconds down in P8. Hayato Kobayashi in 9th. Kerwin Chang, from the Philippines, ahead of Singapore's Arshad Rusty. Mio Nakahara picking up points. Natapon Varis Harith Farhan and Deepak Ravikumar did not finish.
Thankfully, all the starters in the restarted race did make it over the 4 laps to the finish line.
Well, our championship leader will remain Vorapang Malawan, but only 1 point clear of Deki Aldi.